Strava is a brilliant place to log, track and analyse your rides, plan your routes and also get competitive taking on any segments. But what's really cool about it is that you can follow along with anyone else who uploads too. So in this respect, who is best to follow in 2024? Let's take a look. Wout van Aert has logged just over 238,000 kilometres on Strava with a total activity time of over 7,300 hours. The man is an absolute machine, as anyone who watches pro cycling will attest to. But what's really cool is the fact that he consistently uploads to Strava, so you can get a real glimpse into the training regime of a pro cyclist at the very highest level. Currently, Wout is getting back to his best after sustaining a serious crash in his Classics campaign, and we here at GCN wish him all the best as he gets back to the top. So go over to his page, check it out, and give him some goodwill. The man has over 600,000 followers on Strava, and everyone else is giving him some really good wishes. Check out this activity, his first one back after that crash. 60,000 people gave him kudos for a 4K walk around the block as he gets on with recovery. Come on, Walt. Gonna see you at the Tour. Demi Vollering's win list is huge. Tour de France, Romandie, Liège, Amstel, Strade Bianche, Tour de Flandre, I could go on and on. The list is literally huge. But what's really cool is that all those wins have been uploaded to Strava. So you can go over to her page and check out exactly what it takes to win at the very highest level in women's pro cycling. But of course, it's not just bike rides that you can upload to Strava, it's any activity, which counts. And Demi Vollering has some really interesting ones to check out too. Check out this one, a half marathon, which she completed in Switzerland. Annemiek van Vleuten is another rider who has won pretty much every race under the sun. Tour de France, Giro d'Onne, Vuelta Femenina, plus 2 World Championships on the road. She's pretty much completed women's pro cycling, and it makes for some really interesting viewing on her Strava page. But since she retired in 2023, the riding hasn't stopped. So check out all these rides which she completed at the epically, ridiculously tough Transcordilleras in Colombia. Her longest ride to date, this 400-kilometre epic, which she completed just for fun. Sepp Kuss is another rider to follow who logs pretty much all his rides on Strava. In 2024 alone, he has already logged over 11,000 kilometres on his bike across 115 different rides. And he also holds one of the most contested and famous segments on Strava and the world in general, Alpe d'Huez, and he's got it in a time of 36 minutes and 7 seconds. But he also logs some pretty cool rides from his home base in the Pyrenees, heading out into the mountains and logging some epics on his road bike, but also deviating on some pretty cool gravel routes, which he documents with plenty of photos on the platform. So give him a follow, keep track of his progress. If you could call Sepp Kuss the king of Strava, then you could probably call Keegan Swenson the king of gravel. The man has won pretty much every gravel race or off-road race going. He took home the Lifetime Grand Prix last year, winning marquee events like Unbound along the way. In fact, he beat me by well over 7 hours, although I did stop for a few hot dogs along the way. Gravel racing calls for some pretty impressive efforts and some long days in the saddle too. Check out this activity from 2022, which makes for some absolutely jaw-dropping viewing. 547 kilometres at the 24 Hours of Old Pueblo mountain bike race, which was a course record at the time, and you can check out the whole ride up on Strava. So if inspiration for crazy long days in the saddle and some off-road riding is your thing, give him a follow. Over on the women's side of gravel and off-road riding, Sofia Villafane is one to keep an eye on. She races for Specialised Off-Road, and she has also won pretty much every race under the sun actually when it comes to off-road riding, including Unbound. I think she also beat me by close to 7 hours again.
Oh, that's nice.
Hot. Salty. Savoury.
Remember, I had a lot of hot dogs, people. As with Keegan Swenson, it is inspirational to see the efforts that these gravel riders put out over such long distances and time frames. I think this ride for me really stands out. This Leadville 100, Sofia took the win. It was a big day in the saddle and the numbers are just high the whole entire day. So do head over to her profile and check out some of these rides because it really is crazy what these athletes are doing. Next up, Illi Gardener, the unofficial queen of the mountains on Strava. If you saw Manon ride with her on the Tourmalet last year, you'll know just how fast she can go uphill. In fact, she has over 9,000 QOMs on Strava. So if you want to keep track of all her incredible climbing efforts, then give her a follow on the platform. In fact, she actually has some of the most famous segments too, including the infamous Mont Ventoux segment, where she holds the QOM. And also, she took the women's Everesting record, she logged it on Strava, and you can check that activity out right now. She completed Everesting in 8 hours and 32 minutes, people. Absolutely mind-blowing. Next up, one of the world's best riders, Tadej Pogačar. And again, this is one of the coolest aspects of Strava, that you can get a glimpse into the training diary of one of the world's best athletes. Just don't lose faith when he uploads a 300-kilometre monument that is Mount San Remo and calls it an easy spin with friends. Now, Pogačar, he holds some of the sport's biggest mountain climbs, and he has a lot of KOMs in his locker. But there's some other interesting KOMs too that you wouldn't have thought of, including this segment, which is the Oud Quarmont, perhaps known for cobbled classics riders absolutely smashing it up it and not smaller climbers. Today, Pogačar still holds it from his effort at Tour of Flanders back in 2023, which is pretty cool. The classics riders, they can't touch him yet. But I think perhaps his standout KOM on Strava is the Col de Madone segment. This is a climb which is found behind Monaco, where plenty of pros live, and in fact it is a real testing ground that pretty much every pro cyclist has taken on at one point in their career. Pogačar holds the KOM in an eye-watering time of 31 minutes and 38 seconds. My best time? 41 minutes and 55, which I'm pretty happy with, but Pogačar did absolutely smash me. But best women rider who holds a QOM, of course, you guessed it, Illi Gardener. Another rider who has bagged some serious climbing efforts is Romain Bardet, but I'd follow him not just for his fast rides, but the fact that he trains and trains and trains. Perhaps the pro who logs the longest rides, the most volume of training, and really goes hardcore. Keep an eye on him. He does some big rides. But if you want really crazy rides on Strava, then I'd recommend that you follow Cameron Worth. Check out this ride. It was Paris-Roubaix from last year, logged it on the platform. But then what's interesting is that immediately afterwards, he logged a half marathon effort in a time sub 90 minutes, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Now, this is one that all of us GCN presenters follow on Strava, because Andrew Feather has scooped up pretty much every segment going around here. Now, I did move here after assignment, so my form has plummeted. But every time I look at a climb, it's Feather on the top of the leaderboard. But he is an absolute specimen, and he whips up these climbs faster than anyone. And he travels pretty widely as well. In fact, he's scooped up a lot of Strava segments across Europe. And he's actually the rider on Strava who holds the most KOMs out of anyone. He's got 4,000. So if you want to see some pretty impressive climbing efforts, give Andrew Feather a follow. He deserves it. Lastly, if you want to keep track of all the crazy challenges that we get up to here at GCN, then do head over to the GCN Club page, where we try and keep track of everything we've been doing, all the crazy rides, all the long ones, all the fast ones. Some of us do some fast rides, mostly looking at Si and Ollie, I must admit. But even Hank, he goes fast sometimes. And I sometimes go fast. Dan's even logging some pretty epic stuff as he gets his journey back to fitness underway. So head over to our page, check it out, and we'll try and keep you up to date with all we are up to. And also, we'll put links in the description below to all the people we've mentioned in this video. Let us know in the comments what you think, who you're following on Strava, and who you like to keep track of, potentially in some far-fetched places in the world. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, Strava, and we'll see you on the next one.